What's going on, guys? Always got to start videos out right. So, some of y'all had asked what all I was using in the patrol class that I did a week ago, and I had said, in all fairness, that if y'all were interested, I'd show you what I was using. So here we are. Up front, I'm going to show you what I used, but this is not intended to imply or say that it's what you should use. I use the things I use for very specific reasons, based on where I'm at, who I'm with, my personal situation, personal reasons, etc. I always encourage you to set your stuff up and use what works for you. Now, I'm happy to show you what I used. What I use may fit for you. It may give you some ideas, whatever. I'm fine with that. Just don't mistake as me trying to say that this is what you should use, right? Your situation may dictate that your setup is different. And honestly, this is what I use for this class. So specific situations that I would use for real, I might even alter or change some of this around a little bit. It would all depend. So we'll start out with the big stuff up front. So for my patrol pack, I was using my Direct Action Gear Ghost pack. Y'all have seen the video that I've done on that. Pack worked marvelously. I have nothing bad to say about it at all. Everything I talked about in the video proved to be right. The only thing I've done different to this pack is I add my radio pouch on the side of it here, and that's it. Just a point of note, with as hot and humid and wet as it was, the back system on the Direct Action pack, spot on, and was an absolute godsend, and I could definitely tell that it was doing what it was designed to do. This is a great pack. I know guys have said that they have issues with, they keep being out of stock, can't find them in stock, etc. I get it, guys. I think they're getting them in. They just sell out really fast. So if for some reason Direct Action, if you see this, folks are saying all the time they're wanting to buy packs, y'all might want to try to get more packs in. They're good and they're popular for a reason. So this was the main patrol pack that I used. Now, I did have my alternate patrol pack with me, which is my Crossfire DG1. This is my other patrol pack. I did have it with me as a backup. There are specific times I will use this pack. This particular class just wasn't one of them. But these are my two go-to packs, and I do use this one quite regularly. So moving on. For gear, I was using my simple mini Swamp Fox rig. That's my own make over at UW Gear. Only thing I've got on here is the little GP pouch and my bleeder pouch and my gloves. These are just plain old flight gloves from 5-Star Gear. This is my chest rig. That was all I used gear wise. Didn't have a need or a want or a reason to use anything else. It works. I know it works. That's why I make them. That's why I use it. What else? Alright, so moving on. I had my plain old K-Bar from K-Bar. Simple, does the job. It's all I needed for a knife out in the bushes. That worked. So starting at the ground and going up, here we go. The Ultima Pro X Jungle Boots, again, worked flawlessly. Was running them with some wool socks like I usually use. Feet stayed perfectly cool and comfortable all day. The only thing that I'm going to do to these is what I mentioned in the last video on these is I want to get some better insoles in there. Other than that, I'm in love. These are the bomb. Love my Pro X Jungle boots. So, True Spec, plain old BDU pants. They work. We crawled through the mud, crawled through the muck, went through the bushes and the briars and the brambles and all that good stuff. No worse for wear. Did their job just like they're supposed to. I did wear up top my True Spec combat shirt. Again, it worked great. Did a great job of helping to keep not only the sun off of me and off my arms, but keeping the chest and body fairly cool. As cool as one can keep it in the kind of weather that we had. I did face the one downside to using combat shirts, and it's why I'm always a toss-up 50-50 as to whether or not I use one versus a regular BDU top, because with the tiger mosquitoes and such that we have, they literally bite right through the t-shirt material. It doesn't even slow them down. So even hosing down with DEET and bug spray, you still get bites all over your body because they just go right through the shirt. That's the trade-off. You get a little bit more cooling, but you get ate up. So 50-50 as to whether or not I use this or a combat shirt. Oftentimes I just flip a coin. Up top, of course, just a plain old cotton sniper veil. This works good, as I mentioned before, for wiping sweat out of your eyes, helping keep the bugs off of you a little bit, and what a lot of people don't think about, you can always pour some water on this and put it around your neck, and it helps keep your neck cool and thus you cool. Lots of uses for that. You can get those all over the place. Keep the sun off my head. Plat Attack GBHR boonie, probably the best boonie I've ever used. True Spec, all the others make great boonies. The Plat Attack is just, it's the bomb. I absolutely love the Plat Attack GBRH. It is hands down my go-to hat for out in the bush. So gun wise, of course, we were running blanks, so accuracy and whatnot wasn't an issue, but this is my 14.7 inch Palmetto State Armory build with a permanent flash hider, and the primary arms 2X prism on there. Ran it, of course didn't have the light on there because when you're out in the woods like that, you take the light off. That's why I always tell y'all I'm a fan of either having a QD lever or a thumb screw on your light mount, so that when you go outside to do stuff, you can take it off for the 90% of the time that you don't want a light on the gun. Because yes, there are times you don't want a light on the gun. People don't believe that, but there is. As far as running blanks through this gun, it's 100% reliable with live ammo, and if any of you have ever run a lot of blanks in the military, stuff like that, you're used to having malfunctions. They happen fairly regularly with blanks. I'm happy to say that I ran the entire class and not once did I ever had a blank malfunction with this gun. It ran blanks flawlessly. Worked like a charm. This gun is one of my favorite patrol guns, woods guns, because it's light enough to not really be an aggravation to carry and tote through the woods all day. It's small enough excuse me, that you don't have a lot of extra length getting hung up on stuff, but it's big enough to give me a good 200-300 yard range engagement that I can confidently do, even though we really don't have that kind of range. Should that be necessary, this one will do it. I've got some more stuff coming on that topic, kind of related to a previous video that I did about my ultimate survival preparedness gun. So more coming on that. We're not too far off from doing that video. Just a few more things I need to square away and take care of. But yeah, This is one of the 14.7 Palmetto State Armories. I don't know what to tell you. This thing just runs great no matter what I put in it. Live ammo, blanks, you name it, that gun runs it. Other than that, I just had a good notebook and a couple of good pens and took lots of copious notes, and that's about it. You know, you think you got to get overly complicated when you're taking classes and stuff, and honestly you don't. But I've been doing them for so long. That's probably one of the advantages of doing a lot of classes for a long time. You really start weeding out what you want to have, what you don't want to have, what you can do without, what you can't do without, and it really lets you fine tune and tailor your gear and equipment down so that it's a no-brainer. Just like in previous training and classes and practice that I've done, everything worked just like I wanted it to, just like it was designed. No complaints or issues about clothing, the gear, any of it. Just all the way around, continue to be really happy with this setup. And it's really kind of my core setup that I can alter and tweak here or there, you know, depending on what I'm doing as I need to, without really changing the core part of everything. So I've always thought there's something to be said for that. That's about it, guys. I know that's kind of uneventful and anticlimactic, but that's what I used. It's kind of my go-to setup for a lot of stuff. It just plain works. It doesn't have to be overly fancy, and it certainly doesn't have to be overly expensive and complicated. You just got to make sure that it does what you want it to do, the way you want it to do, in the area that you want to do it in, and all that good stuff. So that's about it for the gear part. If you got any questions, I'll try to answer them. Pretty self-explanatory for the most part. So get out there and keep training, guys. Lots of things to pay attention to. Keep your eyes open. Stay safe. I'll see you in another one.